We're gonna call this meeting to order. First thing on the agenda, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Manning, and he can lead us in prayer.
All right, we have prayer requests tonight. Then remember, Judy McCaleb, Scotty Lewis's mother, Linda Brim, Lonnie's mother, Barry Smith's father, Diana Shoulders, Jared Huff's father, Kim White, Karen Alex's mother, Eric Russell's mother-in-law, Elaine Tibbles, a student at DES, and Mike Shoulders. Is there anybody else that we need to add to the prayer list? Odd, if not, let's go to a little prayer. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for the opportunity, Lord Heavenly Father, to see another day. Thank you, Lord Heavenly Father, for the rain that you're giving us, Lord Heavenly Father, and continue to bless us with, Lord Heavenly Father. Lord, we pray for each and every one of these prayer requests, Lord, that went up here tonight, Lord. You know the need of each and every one of them, Lord. I pray that you'll touch them, Lord Heavenly Father, and help us this forward, Lord Heavenly Father, and make good, wise decisions, Lord. Bless our school system and our teachers and employees and our students, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Okay, consent items. Everybody had a chance to look, don't anybody want to pull any of those? If not, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
We vote electronically.
Yes, sir. Well, both ways. Superintendent's actions. Anything you need to discuss on that? Not, we're gonna go to new business. Yes, sir.
Director, is there more than usual on there? Why is there more than usual on your?
I don't think it is. I think you're seeing a lot of the, I was looking at it myself, it looks big, but a lot of it's your non-tenured renewals. You have
Is
to
that
list
what it
it.
is?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't think it's any, of course, the numbers are almost, we've had a lot of late movement. Actually, we were low early, but we've had a lot late. But I think if you go back and look, Mr. Caleb, it's real comparable
All right.
past years. Just different this month. There'll probably be quite a few again next month too.
Okay.
Okay, anything else, Mr. McCabe?
No, sir.
All right. Next thing is our TSBA policy recommendations. Got a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve all our recommendations for policies.
Okay. Second? Second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Bid approval for janitorial supplies. Do I have, pardon? Mr. Allen? Okay, Tracy. Okay. Spending money here, so I guess we need to do a roll call. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Caleb?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Bid approval for diesel. Motion?
Yes.
Second.
Who made the motion?
Well, Jones, Mr. Jones. Mr. Apple. Okay, this is roll call because money. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Caleb?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Next thing is our October, November, December board meetings, date changes. Have y'all looked at those? Any, got a motion on?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lewis?
Second.
Second.
I got a question.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
This is for October, November, and December?
Uh, yes, October, November, and December.
A lot of times that interferes with a lot of my other stuff. Is there any way? That's why I like the board meetings on the nights we have them. I have other meetings that I do on those dates. This is the only issue I have.
I'm seeing the way it changes.
I can do
What was
it.
the reason they fall on
It's
breaks?
because of the breaks.
I think they fall on breaks. Mr.
Fall breaks is what it is, so
Fall break,
you know, that's,
Thanksgiving break, Christmas.
I assume it was fall and then Thanksgiving, was it fall and Thanksgiving
And
and
Christmas.
Christmas?
any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Approval of, you want us to vote on that? We had voted on that one.
Yeah.
We did, on paper, I mean, on the computer.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, maybe I didn't do it, I don't know. Did we, Tracy?
On the calendar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. yes.
Okay, all right. The approval of Anderson's Architects for the two wellness centers. Have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Do I have a second? And a second. Any discussion?
How much is that, how much are they coming in at then, Mr. Chairman?
You talking about the overall?
Yeah.
Well, we're getting individual, of course, I didn't, Ben can probably elaborate more, because he's been, but let me say this, he feels like he's well, talking to Travis, he's right on schedule where he thinks he could be at, which we think's about half where we were going, you know, when we were just doing it, bidding it out. So he feels good, and I was gonna talk about that in a minute to end, but he feels like we'll probably break ground by the end of the month on both of them, that's his plan. So we're right on schedule. The reason for this particular architecture need is gotta be customized to some of the, we don't think this will be a very big price. It's just something that had to be certified before they put them up. So they kind of customize, the buildings are a little different size to fit the parking lots.
Uh-huh.
And that's the purpose of having an architect. My understanding, the Metals Company wanted them certified. They're certified in the company. They want an architectural set of plans actually to put them up. So that, I guess for insurance purposes.
When are we looking for these to be finished?
Well, what he thinks it'll come in, but we're hoping to break ground. We'd love to be in on about October, November. That's the plan. Maybe he thinks if things fail right, by doing two, that's the plan. Maybe they just say, hey, while we're here, we'll go over and do the second, you know. So we're kind of shooting for fall break when you say bid.
Yeah, when I talked to Travis this morning, our project manager, he was thinking we'd have the shell up and all by that fall break, first of November time, and then working on the electric and the outside and finishing up, right after that.
So we won't even think about moving in probably way after Christmas first.
Yeah, we'd be lucky to be on before then. That's kind of what we're looking at.
It would be used before that.
Any more discussion? Now let's do a roll call. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Caleb?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Okay, line item amendments. Do I have a motion?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lewis?
Second.
Mr. Apple? Do you have any discussion on it? If not, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. McCallum?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Okay, next is discussion, about high school graduation dates. I think Mr. McCaleb, you brought that up. You wanted to discuss that?
Yes, sir. I was, talking to the director, I think, about this earlier, and I'm under assumption that if this was approved, that it'd be totally in the hands of the principals and him himself to come up with the alternate date where we could have one graduation one night, the next, and the other county the next night, or another weekend, or therefore, just because of, so the families that's, here that, would like to go to different graduations. It's a little hustle to get to each one if you've got kids or cousins or nephews or nieces. And I don't understand why it would be a hard issue to change those dates. I mean, I've seen being on the school board here, we have to hustle from one to the other. And sometimes even myself, I like to visit with some of those at each school. Well, it's always been going for first. But anyway, that's where I was getting at with it.
Anybody else got any discussion?
I mean, I'll just say from my part, I don't have a problem with it. If the board's in agreement on it.
There's, we could go back and look when it changed, show you the positive and the negatives vote. I can't remember when it changed, about 5 or 6 years ago, just off the top of my head. I think Warrenswood used to be first, and then Smith County's had been Saturday morning, about 10 o'clock, best I remember. Now, originally it changed because some of them said that they could get dressed up one time and they felt like the people coming in out of town spent more time with their families. The other side of that is they feel like we're rushed, we can hang around and I guess make more of a special occasion. The board and myself and parents could, if we wasn't rushed, you can make, somebody talked today, may have receptions and that things they can't do. Personally, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be there. It's whatever. But I can see both sides of it. I don't think there's an issue at all to changing if y'all want to. It's fine like it is if y'all want to. It's just preference. I don't think the principals mind either way.
I would think so.
I can see both sides of it. I think it's Saturday would probably be better, that way you do one earlier.
If you done both of them,
You could have them both on that
Yeah, I think
Saturday, if you
what-
went earlier.
that's a third option. I think what Mr. McCabe's saying, have a Friday, Saturday, but like you said, if it's a Saturday, you could do it 10 and 4. I mean,
Correct.
10 and 6, 12 and 6.
That'd be all right too, just give us
Yeah.
some time between those two periods.
Now, the only problem I've ever had with it, I have had some grandparents to come to me and maybe have a grandchild graduating from Gornsville, and I also have one graduating from Carnegie. And that has caused some serious
Aunts and
conflicts.
uncles, yeah.
Aunts and uncles as well, and maybe, two graduating, and they can't put enough time in one.
And they'd like to spend more
Time with that.
that particular child.
Right.
I understand
Yeah,
that.
and not make a difference in them, where now if they're gonna make them both, they gotta do one and then get the car and take off to the other one. And I can see, like I say, I see both sides of it too, but I was just looking at it on the grandparent side of it, or aunts and uncles or whatever, so.
Y'all wanna make that decision, or you want us to talk to the principal, and let them pick? Like,
Well, I
like
think-
Randy said, Saturday, or just do a Friday, Saturday,
If we
it's
was to
fine.
vote on it, pass it tonight, we just let the superintendent.
You're not gonna vote on nothing that
It's just a
It's just a
discussion.
discussion, now,
We'll have a policy next
and
month.
really, you need to sit down he needs to sit down with these principals and, assistant principals.
I don't know if we need a policy on this.
Yeah, we're just split, but-
I think we ought to.
What, I mean, ask it this way, what is the wishes of the board? What did you rather say, which one, or are you okay with either one, let them pick, or that one you prefer, and
I'd rather do it Friday night and Saturday morning myself. It's just me.
Myself,
True.
I don't care, but I do care about this. I wish there was just a little bit more time in between.
and that's hard to do when you do it on Friday night, it's about as squeeze as you can get, I mean,
Did you start an hour earlier?
is it what, sir?
Did you start like an hour and a half earlier?
It's hard, the only thing, the working person on a Friday night, now on Saturday you could,
Yeah.
you can start it at any time, like Randy's saying, but, that's the second option. If you want me to present both, or if you just want me to tell them, I'll be glad
3
to.
o'clock on Saturday and then have one at 7 o'clock on Saturday night.
Or you can do
Every year,
2 and
whatever.
7, whatever, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Just be separated, give a little time between them.
Just as long as it gives families plenty of time
That's
to,
right.
Some of them are trying to rush just like we are, trying to get from one field to the other, so.
It always worries me like the board, you know, you'll have a wreck or something, and then you put the whole thing back, you know what I mean?
I mean, the board could set a policy to say they can't be on the same day
That's
and
what
or just a number of hours between the start times.
That's what I was-
That one shouldn't start before the other one.
Do you want me to
Let the
present both
principals
options, or is there a preference you'd rather have, and I can just tell them what we're doing, you know?
I don't think we really need a board policy.
No, but
I mean, that, I don't,
The only
unless you
issue,
think we need to.
the only,
Not necessarily, it's just.
They're fine, just
If we're all
give
gone,
preference
the
on
problem.
You know,
the only issue I see with the two nights, the Friday and the Saturday nights, you got people who's traveling in from out of state, and they'll have to stay overnight if they got people in both schools. If you do it on one day, then they're here for one day, then they can travel back out. So, the Saturday, I think, would be a really good option.
That was the point they made. I think the original point was made to have it on Friday night. They said they enjoyed coming in, and then they could spend more family time that Saturday, which would be the same thing if you had them both on the same day. But I can present it to them and such, and if you're good with both of them, then let them pick which one they'd rather do.
But if,
I agree with Mr., I think if we don't set some kind of policy, that it'll go right back to this in a couple of years.
I put it, if the board if this board has a preference for something, it needs to either do a policy or a procedure. One of the two, so it'll last through time, because it wouldn't, you know, if this board has a preference for one or the other, it needs to probably do one of those two things, either a policy or you have procedures that you could put in that could amend those to include that.
Mark, you got any input, everybody else is?
Nobody moved one.
Okay.
why don't you go talk to them and see, and give them the options and things. and
And
see
come
what-
back to you guys.
Let the principals say whatever and come back and tell us, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Is that agreeable to
Bring it
everybody?
back to
then?
you on the agenda next
Yeah.
month.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. Thank you, Terry.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, I'm sorry.
Annual policy review for June, you've all had a chance to look at that. Mr. Winkler, do you have anything for executive session? One other thing, two of you have not, or you got one person has not turned in their evaluation on the director, and really needed it tonight, but need it, so I think it's Marty.
Can
Is that you, Marty?
I'll take care of it, sir.
Okay.
can I say real quick?
Yes, sir, yes.
Let me real quick catch y'all up in case you get asked any questions. One, I want to say this, and got a card, thank Carmen University and Scotty and President Stum and Ron Pavitt. They donated about, I'd say $40,000-$50,000 worth of nice lockers to both schools. If you have any of the schools, we got plenty, we got about 60. The deal was we had to get them all to get them, and so we've got them in storage. If you know any of the schools that have a need for them, they're fantastic. Nice wood lockers, and I think Smith County High School used about 60 of them. So a special thanks to them. Catch up a little bit on the buildings. CES and Ben normally help me because y'all keeping them. I'm getting that weekly report from
Yeah.
Sherry, but we're right on schedule with CES.
I talked to the project manager, for the cafeteria project today. All the demolition's done. They're doing some cutting on the floor. Got their building permit, supposed to have it. I think he said had a guy sitting in their office this morning. They only do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we're right on schedule with it.
And they've got everything out in containers, and we got a good plan going forward with it, so it's right on schedule. She's got a meal plan ready, and hopefully we won't have to do it long when school starts. And then we told you a lot about the buildings. We hope the buildings are on schedule, hope to start breaking ground. If you get the negatives that I've got, is that we're about parking at Gornsville. We're going to, according to our paper that we've talked to, we think we're going to gain about 58 to 100 parking places.
By doing what we was talking about.
Well, you're going to go out there and do that, and you know, going around, you're going to change the traffic flow to where it's going to go around Gornsville all the time and enter back out the back. And he said by angle versus the old style, you gain about so many parking places. So we're going to actually gain behind the shops back there, parking spots. And then when that front gets paid, he thought just rough hand gonna gain 58 to 100 part more than you got now after you take it up. And that's not even have to get into that grass. I think that's what we're hoping, okay? So we're well on schedule with it, so we're excited about those. And we think we're in budget right now, we think that he's on schedule, so.
I have one more thing I'd like to bring up, Mr. Chairman. before we
Yes, sir.
move. And I don't know, I'm not been into every school, but somebody had told me that there was something really cool over at the middle school.
Really what?
Something that's really, really cool that's over at this middle school. And we might all think about putting at least one in every school. They have a bottle filler upper for your water bottle.
We've got those in 2 or 3 schools, yeah.
Would it be possible, I don't know how much it costs.
Well, we got those on the grant. I mean, like everything else we get, we got them for free, Joe.
Could we try to get at least one of them in every school, that way the teachers and the students can bring, because on some schools you can't buy a bottle of water.
No, we,
That way they can refill their water bottles up during the day and not have to use the water fountain.
Good idea.
I think we can get them all, Tommy, for free, to be honest with you. The issue with them, the parts for them, we found out for the company, we've been really hard to replace. But now we got Mr. James Gibson, our health coordinator, he got all those in and then cost him. We think we can get the rest of them. And I think Kim Maynard had a big part in getting that grant started. And, but I think we can get every school if that's something that you feel like you want to do. And I think we can get it at no cost.
Yeah, I think we'll at least put at least one. In every school. It'd be nice to have maybe 2 of them.
I think we can do that. I noticed I went to a school in White County, I think it's the one that actually Kelly Jolly went to, coach at UT now, and they had put, they weren't the cheaper, they were the really good water like that, and they had a new amp dryer and stuff, and it was state of the art, it was all kind of a package, pretty cool.
Anything else from anybody?
Yeah, I'd like to, I want to bring up that, remind everybody who's watching and everything that we do have that meal program for the children. They have really good meals, and it's a good program. I think we need to thank those people who's doing that and get that out there.
And it's to everybody, they need to get out there and use it, they are good meals too.
They're really good
Yeah,
meals.
they sure are.
I just wanted to bring that up and remind the people that are out there watching, that's going to watch this.
We want them to,
that we're
that's,
trying to give these meals away for free to these kids.
and again, they're good, man,
We deliver them, correct?
we're delivering to central locations, if they're interested, we'll get them, like the feed is drop off, Gornsville's drop off, and
So where can parents look at to find that schedule if,
it should be on our internet, but if not, we'll get it, if call the office, somebody's watching, or you see anybody, we'll make sure they get a mail to them. There's some delivered to central locations. If
Not to houses.
No, if there was a community, say that, let's just pick out Grant, there's not such a thing, but say Grant had a big subdivision, there's 50 kids, we'd see that was a drop-off point, if that, we want to, it's not only obviously advantageous to the parents and kids, but it's good for a program, they make, the school makes money with it, that ain't the point, but it's a great thing for everybody involved, it keeps their people working, it wants to work for summer.
And you don't know how many kids, I see it in court, you don't know how many kids that don't eat during the day. So I just, like I said, I think it's a great program that we're feeding these kids. And I just wanted to get that out there.
You'd be amazed, that's the reason some of y'all have been with me that long. It has to come pretty good snow call up on Monday because there's a lot of kids in Smith County that don't eat other than what the school. And I'm glad you brought that up. That does need to be very, very advertised. It's a great program.
is it on the school board website?
It should be on the website, but if it's not, give a call up here and we'll get
Where do the people or kids in my district go to?
defeated. Defeated, I think, is where she's dropping them off, isn't it?
I'm talking about.
Oh, Union Heights. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry. I got, Union, I thought she's dropping at Union Heights, but I can find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about,
She may even,
what about District 3, you know where it's at?
it's, I think that they're going, I think right there in the parking lot. I think that's where they're dropping. I'll find out, get you a schedule.
At the school?
Yeah. It's not a problem. The big school's not a problem because they're dropping.
Show it, right?
And they're really good meals. Really
They're
good.
really good. Yeah, they are.
Is this somebody showing the set? Is that?
I'll see if I can find it.
I don't see it on the website, but I could be missing it, but he says it's on the Facebook
I
page.
know it's on Facebook.
Just
I
come,
believe it
we'll-
is on their Facebook
Yeah,
page.
on Facebook page.
we can get it on Facebook and see that they know the drop points.
And I'll get it on here too.
Good. I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a great program, and we should do,
We've been doing this how
We're
many
still
years?
feeding kids
Sir,
for free.
How many years we've been doing this now?
So,
we've been doing the summer feeding program. We've been doing it, I think at this extent for about 3 years, but we've fed them in the summer, for introduced for years, but this, for everybody's been now, I think it's kind of like COVID.
Where's the mills originated at Carthage or?
Well, it depends, like,
Didn't the street-
I'd have to see where she's actually cooking at this year. I know last year, and the years past, we done it at Union Heights, they actually served there. Do you remember, Joe? We went, and then the Goins will cook there, but she may have been doing them with some of the cafeterias condensed. We've got this bus now that we can transport, so I don't know exactly which one she's cooking, but I assume she's cooking out of those school locations.
Anything else? Have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.